Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to talk about Century Arm AKs. I know that right now there's a lot of scuttlebutt on the internet about the testing that Rob Ski is doing over at the AK Operators Union. He's testing an RAS-47, which is a stamped AKM made by Century Arms. And he's documenting the wear and tear on the gun as he's going through his testing. A lot of folks on the internet are talking, about the Century AKs. A lot of folks have very strong opinions one way or the other. I'm not going to chime in on the RAS-47 just yet. I do have a couple of the rifles. I am shooting them, and I'm not ready to draw any definitive conclusions, but I'm watching very closely what Rob Ski is doing, again, over at the AK Operators Union. But one rifle I do have a lot of experience with is my C39V2. This is a Century Arms AK, 100% USA built. It is a machined receivered AK, so the RAS-47 is an AKM, or it's stamped. This is all machined. This gun I've even taken this one out with me when I went to visit Rob Ski a year or so ago. I took this rifle out and we were playing with it out there, doing some shooting with it. Suppressed, as a matter of fact, this rifle has been suppressed most of its life with me. You'll notice I have a Griffin Armament muzzle device on here. It's a 14x1 left-hand thread muzzle device. The threads are concentric to bore on the C39V2s, or so we have found, which allows me to use my Recce 7, which is a Griffin Armament can. Love these cans, have several of them. And so this gun, again, has been fired mostly suppressed, but I also fired unsuppressed. What I want to show you guys, though, is this gun has a couple thousand rounds through it. This is our beater gun. I don't clean it, I don't oil it, or very rarely oil it. And the only oiling it really gets is just by proxy and being close to magazines that are freshly oiled, or other guns in a case that might be freshly oiled. I'm going to pop it open here really quick for you guys. I just want you to see inside of it. Now you can see the carbon oozing down the side of the receiver, okay? You can see it's just black caked on carbon throughout the gun. The thing is absolutely frickin' filthy. Again, I do not take care of it. Now, I'm not trying to refute any of the testing that Rob has done, okay? As a matter of fact, what started me thinking about doing this video this afternoon was a post made on AR15.com in the AK-47 section. Somebody had posted or reposted comments that Jim Fuller over at Rifle Dynamics had made about the RAS-47s and the C39V2s. And I kind of mirror Jim's opinion on the C39V2, which is what we have here again. And he says that it's been a good rifle, or for the most part in his experience, this rifle has been an outstanding rifle for me. Now, we'll hit it with some gun scrub here when we're done shooting this afternoon, because everything's covered in carbon. It's kind of hard to see. But one thing I want you to notice is there is no peening on this little dingus here on the back of the bolt carrier. Rob has seen some pretty heavy peening on his. You'll notice there's really no heavy wear marks. I mean, I can show you other AKs, but you can see that there's just regular drag marks on the bolt and carrier from being fired. You can see some of the marks up here that he was seeing. Again, nothing that I would say is out of the ordinary from other AKs that I've shot. If we take a look at the trunnion up here where the carrier comes to rest, you'll notice there's no undue peening or any marks. I mean, if I rub the carbon off, you can see the finish is gone, right? I mean, on thick carbon layer. But this gun's been holding up just fine. I mean, you can see the drag marks on the hammer. Overall, this gun is holding up extremely well. And keep in mind, when you run these things suppressed, guys, you're over-gassing the heck out of them. The bolt carrier velocity on this is substantially higher than when you're firing it without a suppressor on the end of the barrel, increasing the back pressure on the gun, increasing the gas pressure in the gas system. So I'm gonna load it up here. We're gonna fire some more ammunition through it this afternoon. I mean, like I said, we're up over a couple thousand rounds with this gun, and then we'll take it up, we'll hit it with some gun scrubber, get all the filthy carbon off of it, actually clean it for the first time it's ever been cleaned since I've owned it, and we'll take a closer look at the wear patterns. I just want to show you that, that this gun, in my experience, has been a solid little rifle. I always struggle getting this on here. I'm going to pinch myself. Come on. Not like I haven't done this before. All right, matter of fact, let's just grab a magazine here out of the case and show you how the rifle runs. You can watch the ejection pattern. Here's one of the magazines I used not that long ago in a mud test. I don't even clean my magazines. Still got mud on it from the water. Now, I've also found that the guns work just fine with the generation, I guess they're calling them threes, the P-mags, the M3s with the steel reinforcements. You'll notice that they fit easily into the C39V2 and drop right out. See if I got some more ammo here. Let's run over to the Jeep. Walk with me. Today's been kind of one of those odd days. It's been snowing, then sunshine, like 60-mile-an-hour winds. The tornado sirens were just going off a minute ago. Let's grab some more magazines. I had just a few in the Jeep. Never go far from home without AK mags. All right. Let's go ahead, see if my suppressor's cooled off a bit. Put the suppressor on it. Let's grab my bake light. Bake lights fit in there just fine. So the gun just runs and runs and runs. Looks like there's some moisture coming out of it. Look at that black goop. I mean, this gun has not been taken care of. Matter of fact, it looks like it has a nice finish on it, which it does, but that's a lot of that is just carbon running down the receiver. You can see it's worked its way into the wood and elsewhere. Woo, that sucker's hot on the gun. What the heck, we got the can on it. Let's shoot it some more. So let this thing cool off a little bit. Let's take it up, and actually I think I got some gun scrubber in the Jeep. Let this can cool off so we can get it off the gun. And I'm gonna strip it down, hit it with gun scrubber. Like I said, for the first time I'm gonna clean it in this gun's entire life. And let's take a look at some of those wear patterns and see what the C39V2 with the several thousand rounds through it looks like as compared to the RAS-47 that Rob's testing. Guys, so the tornado sirens are going off and we're seeing some nasty weather rolling in, so we're going to try to finish this up really quick. But yeah, today is not the best day. These trees fall around here all the time, and I'm guessing we have a tornado somewhere on the ground around here because the sirens have been going off for a bit. All right, so let's take a look inside the C39V2. I'm going to strip it down. Whoa, well, it looks like I've melted my case a little bit. All right, strip it down. Now, one thing that's also been going around on the internet, this rifle is over a year old. Folks are saying, you know, that the safety levers on some of the early Centuries will fire when you move the safety lever up. Century cured that a long time ago. It would have been on guns that are several years old where they were doing that. So you can see it's not setting the gun off. All right, let's hit it with gun scrubber here really quick and try to clean out the inside. And again, this is the first time, ow, dang, that thing's hot. I've done any of that. Now I'm getting that all over that nice wood stock. It's really beautiful wood on these things. Probably dicking that up pretty good. Pardon my French. I'm seeing very, very little signs of wear on this thing. I think it's going to try to rain on us here. All right. Let's get some CLP on it so we can actually see what's going on here. The wind's kicking up. Let's wipe this bolt off first. Get the carbon off of it. Guys, I'm seeing very little signs of wear on the gun. You can see some of the marks there. That's nothing. You know, the kind of the what they call, I think Rob was calling some of the chatter marks. You can see a little bit of that there. Nothing really major. You can see the finish is worn off pretty uniformly around the bolt carrier. The edges, that's polished normal. That's just one of the locking lugs. I don't really see any deformation. It's just polished. and those chatter marks. You can see that right edge there. It is pushed back a little bit, nothing I'm overly concerned about. See on my other AKs, no deformation whatsoever, the bolt itself. And here's what I'm kind of curious about. I don't know how it's happening. Let's wipe off this. Try to get some of the carbon off the gas piston. You can see some of the lines that Rob had seen on his gun, maybe, sorta. Nothing major. I don't feel any ledges or anything. I'd write that off as to nothing. Some wear there. But guys, this is just normal. That's actually surprisingly little wear. Here, right here is an area I know that, now all of my AKs, Russian or otherwise, get polished right there, but I'm not seeing, I mean, you can see a little bit of wear there, but really nothing substantial whatsoever. Bolt moves freely inside the carrier. All right, and here's what I'm kind of interested in. Now look at all the carbon on this thing. It's just oozing out of it, right? So here's what I'm kind of interested in. I'm curious on Rob's rifle why it's getting peened on this little dingus on the back. Now, so what this thing does is, when the bolt's not in when the gun's not in battery, so right now if the gun went off, this would be catastrophic, right? So if the hammer were to fall, it whacks that right there, but it keeps it from hitting the firing pin, right? So the hammer can't hit the firing pin until the bolt's far enough forward in its travel to make it kind of safe, right? So if the hammer follows the bolt home, it won't have enough energy to even fire the gun, right? So really the hammer is the only thing that would contact that like that, right? In its rearward travel, there's nothing for it to hit back there. So how that's getting peened on Rob's gun so heavily, I don't know. Because there's really nothing that hits it, or should hit it, unless you're just pulling the trigger so fast that you're hitting it like that before it's in battery. And I've done that with AKs. I don't do it all the time. I got a fast trigger finger, as you guys can see. But yeah. So in terms of rails, I mean, look, there's no finish really left on there. I guess it's kind of blue. Depends on what angle you look at it. It's polished up pretty good. You can see where the hammer comes back and catches the disconnector. All right, that's wearing. But guys, that's nothing. This gun is not really, I'm just going to leave it dry. I mean, I don't see any reason to lubricate it. So, I mean, that's just why I've been following the gun and just seeing how it's holding up and comparing it to the to Rob's results. And honestly, guys, I'm thinking the C39V2 is a solidly built gun. I'm not going to say that what Rob is finding is untrue. Certainly it is true, but these are two different rifles. This is a machined rifle, and this is the one that that Jim Fuller was talking about on his Facebook page that they repost over on AR15.com. And I've been 100% happy with this rifle. Let's run 40 rounds through it after we just kind of cleaned it up, left it kind of bone dry there. Now, like I said, I have one of the fastest trigger fingers out there for AKs, and still, I couldn't get the hammer to follow the bolt home on this one. And there's no peening going on that little dingus on the back of the carrier. So, I don't know. I'm going to keep shooting the heck out of this gun. I'm going to do it more so now while Rob's doing his testing. We're going to put probably 300-400 more rounds through it this afternoon. I'm going to put a couple more thousand through it. And as Rob finishes up his testing on his RAS-47, I'm going to take this rifle, maybe if Rob will let me come over, I'll take this rifle over and we'll look at it compared to his RAS-47 and look at the wear patterns. But what I'm seeing so far on this gun is that I'm not seeing any heavy wear whatsoever. And I'm going to keep running it suppressed because I actually kind of enjoy shooting this thing. It's our beater gun. We shoot it all the time. If you guys have any questions about anything you've seen in this video, ask the questions down below. I try to stick around for the first couple of days after a video's been posted and answer those questions. If you'd like to support the Military Arms channel, you can do so by swinging by and shopping at Copper Custom or picking up a Mac patch for $3.99. It really does help out here on the channel. Also, if you haven't already, please check out full30.com. It's full30.com. We've taken all the web's best firearms content creators, brought them under one roof, which is Full30. Looks like our tornado passed us by. We'll talk to you guys soon. Gonna have to let this thing cool off before we put it back in the case. Huh. I want to answer a question or sometimes just a comment that's made in my videos and other videos, but I can't speak for other YouTubers. What I can tell you with 100% certainty is I am not paid by Century Arms to like their products or to talk positively about their products or anybody else's. I don't care who makes a gun. If the gun or the product fails and it fails on me while we're running the camera, I'm going to show you the video. I've shown you with SIG, I've shown you with Remington, I've shown you with HK, I've shown you with all sorts of different companies. Magpul, when the stock broke, I could have left that out, but I didn't. If something fails me, I show you guys.